Good afternoon, everyone. Parents, caregivers, educators, advocates, and all stakeholders in the disability space. I especially welcome you to the October edition of the Open Mic for Disabilities hosted by the IREDE Foundation in partnership with Disability Rights Fund. I welcome you once again to this discussion. It promises to be insightful and exciting as well, and also open our eyes to see things that we have ignored in the past. I can see that a number of us have joined, and I would like us to commence the meeting so that we can be on time. So before we commence today's discussion, I would like us to connect to one another by kindly dropping our names in the chat box and where we are joining from. You can also add your LinkedIn profile so that people that would like to connect with you can also connect with you as well. So please let us do that so that we can welcome all of us specially. Thank you. Please let's drop our names and where we are joining from in the chat box. I can see Bolamide from Lagos. Thank you for joining in. Thank you very much. And please, as we are joining the meeting, let us ensure to mute our mics and also drop our questions in the chat box, and we'll try to attend to all these questions at the end of the discussion. I can also see Chidima from Lagos. Thank you for joining in. Please, this is the time to also send reminders to our friends and families that we've sent the broadcast to prior to this time to join in now so that they will not miss out on this great conversation as well. Kindly drop your names and where you are joining from, please. I can see Teresa Howard, although I do not know where he or she is joining from, and I would like to know that as well. All right, let me just do a brief introduction about myself. My name is Anne Fadipe, and I serve as the Partnership Associate with the IREDE Foundation, and I'll be moderating this conversation today. But before I introduce our amazing guest as well, because I cannot do this alone, so somebody will also be joining us, an incredible woman. Before I introduce her, I would like to highlight the theme of this month, which is raising the next generation, parenting children with disabilities. Raising the next generation, parenting children with disabilities. And this is a very crucial topic, especially when it comes to issues relating to persons, most importantly, children living with disabilities. A lot of times, we talk about children living with disabilities, how they feel, what they need, medical attention, social attention that they need as well. And in that light, we sometimes neglect those who care for them, especially their parents and caregivers and guardians that care for them. And today we'll be looking critically at this: parents raising children with disability. We all know that parenting is one of the most rewarding yet challenging journeys of life. We can see it, although if we are not parents, I'm not a parent, but I've seen through my parents, my mom, my dad, through what I've heard, that it is a challenging journey and it takes intentionality to be able to get the best out of our children. But we should also know that this comes with a unique experience, especially for parents of children with disabilities. Sometimes it comes with double the challenge, from accepting the new normal to understanding medical needs, ensuring inclusion in schools, and maintaining emotional balance as a caregiver. And then there are a lot of challenges, like I said, that parents go through that we just neglect. The feeling of guilt sometimes of, having a me time. A lot of parents that are not parents of children with disability also go through these things. So today we are going to focus on all these challenges that parents and caregivers of children with disabilities face. And today's conversation is going to be about empowering parents and caregivers through practical guidance, support, and resources to help raise children with disabilities so that they can reach their full potential. And the guest that we have on here today is not just anybody who has not thread this path for years or who has not thread this path at all. So a parent will be engaging in this discussion with me. She has walked in this path for about 10 years now, if I'm correct, and I would like us to welcome her specially. So please join me with a clapping emoji as I welcome an incredible mother of 4, a woman deeply committed to ensuring that children with disabilities have a voice, and the founder of RehobothFoods, Mrs. Ozioma Alagba. Please let us give her a round of applause with clapping emojis. Thank you, Chidinma. I see that. Please, I want to see the emojis running up. I want to see the emojis running up. Thank you very much, Kokola. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much for welcoming our guests. So we do not want to waste much of our time, and we'll just like to go straight to the discussion for today. So Mrs. Alagba, please can you kindly unmute your mic and also turn on your camera so that everybody can put a face to the name. Thank you, Victory. Thank you, Damilare, for joining in. Thank you very much. So please, as the discussion is going on, let us not forget to drop our questions in the chat box so that we'll be able to attend to them at the end of the discussion. Mrs. Alagba, are you here, ma? Hello, ma. Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, it's really lovely to have you here, ma. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, so I've had the privilege to listen to you speak few weeks ago, I guess, early in October, and I could see that your story is one that is inspiring, not just because you have a child with disability, but because you have a passion to just impact and inspire children and also empower them as well. And you work closely with the IREDE Foundation. We've seen the drive, we've seen the devotion to this organization. I want to say a big thank you for honoring our invitation and being here.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so we would like to know a bit about you. Just tell us about yourself and also tell us about what parenting means to you.
Okay. For every time I have to talk about this, I don't know, I just want to cry. Because, okay, my name is Ozioma Alagba. I'm the founder of RehobothFoods, where we produce, process, and I want to say that it is still in this journey of birthing and parenting Michael that I even discovered RehobothFoods, and I'm going to share that along the line. So you know how it is said that you find your purpose in pain.
Yeah,
I would say that RehobothFoods was birthed from Michael's journey, and I'm going to share that as well so that other parents, other caregivers who are on the call can also pay critical attention to say, oh, maybe this is the direction of my destiny, this is the direction of what God is calling me to do. And I'm going to be calling God a lot, and I'm not sorry about that, because I mean, it's my drive, it's everything that has helped me get up until now. So yes, I mean, I run RehobothFoods, where we produce 100% healthy, natural cereal for children and by extension, families and adults as well. I am Michael's mom. Michael is also an IREDE champion. He's a bilateral amputee, and what that means is that he's a double amputee. So you can see that this journey is an all-encompassing journey into raising a child with disability. I'm just a very joyful person. I like to be present in people's lives. I like to help as much as I can. Yeah, so that's just a short introduction of who I am.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Ma. I can see that you are really a joyful person with the first encounter I had with you, and it is also reflecting in Michael's life as well. So the other question I asked is, what does parenting mean to you personally?
Okay, so personally, parenting to me is vulnerability. Parenting to me is saying yes to help build a nation, because it starts from the home. It starts to raising proper children. but I think more of being very vulnerable, because it is in parenting that everything that you are, everything that you are made of is beginning to show. If you are a hot-tempered person, it will show in parenting. If you are someone who is quiet, to show. If you are someone who, it will just show it. So it just makes you very vulnerable. So yeah, so parenting is contributing to the society and partnering with God to raise kingdom end time his soldiers for his kingdom. That's what parenting means for me.
Thank you very much. And I recognize Chidima for the active participation in the chat box. Please let us also do well to emulate her and drop comments in the chat box as well. So our speaker said that parenting is vulnerability. And have you at any time, probably before you had children, thought of, during your, maybe youthful age, you thought of, oh, what if I had a child with disability? Have you ever thought of it or planned for it?
No, I never, like never. In fact, when I had Michael and they said he was going to be amputated, and it was a new word. Like, I mean, so when I'm like, what's amputation? People are like, what do you mean? You've never heard of that word? I'm like, no, wow, I've never heard of that word. So never ever have I ever thought, or it ever crossed my mind that I was ever going to have a child with disability.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Ma. And then, I realized that there are about 240 million children worldwide with disability, with one disability or the other: cerebral palsy, autism, albinism, limb differences, and so on and so forth. That means approximately that's 1 out of 10 children have a disability. And I'm sure that when you heard of Michael's condition, it was amputated at 4, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So what was your reaction when the doctor just told you that, okay, this is the condition of your child? Can you just share with us, if you are comfortable, a little bit about Michael's condition and what led to his amputation at 4 and your reaction towards it?
Okay, so all through the journey of pregnancy, there was no sign that he was going to be born with any kind of disability, because it was a peaceful pregnancy. In fact, we thought we were going to have a girl child, because we had 2 boys before Michael's pregnancy. So we were excitedly expecting to have a baby girl, and everything that we got was actually pink, because we wanted a baby girl. Of course, during the scan, his gender did not show during the scan. So the doctor just said, that his legs were covering whatever. So we couldn't see the gender. So we just hoped that, by faith, we're going to have a baby girl and all. And then now fast forward to the moment Michael was born, and the doctor who took his delivery, they all screamed and they shouted. So in my tired state and all, I had to raise my head. I'm like, what's going on? And the nurse just raised his leg and say, this is what your child's leg looked like. So the legs were just there. It was dangling. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was. And then they now made it worse by not calling my husband as me. As soon as I gave birth, I called him to say, I'm giving birth. So he was expecting the doctors to call him to say, yay, congratulations, Mr. Alagba, your wife has put to bed and all. But he didn't do that. So he kept expecting the call. And he was worried. What's wrong? What's going on and all? So on their own part, they were kind of scared. They were ashamed. They didn't know what his reactions would be once he sees the baby. So they kept that from him, while they kept taking care of me and just making sure that I am stronger, and they were cleaning me up and all. So when things got better, or I think towards the later part of the day, they now called him in and showed him Michael and said that we don't know what this is. But in fact, the nurse, according to my husband, said that the midwife told him that I had given birth to a child who is going to be crippled. That was how the midwife said it to my husband, that your wife has just given birth to a child. And then they went on to even say it in Yoruba. They called the word cripple in Yoruba. I don't know what it is, but according to him, he said that They even went on to now say, oh, that this child is going to be crippled for the rest of his life, that that's the kind of child I've just given birth to and all, blah, 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 and all of that. So after we had gotten to the orthopedic hospital, that's in Ikwobi, Lagos, and we met with the doctors, and after review and everything, they said Michael was going to be amputated, that amputation was the only option as he was born without tibia bones. So at that point, I'm like, I don't understand. What's amputation? What does this even mean? If I was even tibia bone in the first place? and I said to ask, okay, what's the cause? Like, what is even the cause of this missing tibia bone? Like 2 whole tibia bones missing. What could be the cause? What could be the issue? And the doctor said they don't know. That in fact is actually a rare disability. And I remember one doctor actually now saying that, that I had given birth to Nigeria's Oscar Pistorius. There's a South African Oscar Pistorius guy who is a double amputee, but I think he's a Paralympian. So I think he was very popular at that time. I heard he's currently in jail or something. But yeah, he just mentioned that and said, that I had given birth to Nigeria's Oscar Pistorius. So I had to go Google who Oscar Pistorius was, and he was a South African Paralympian, a gold medalist who has won several medals, even with his disability. That statement, as against what the nurse at the hospital had told my husband, that I had given birth to a child who was going to be crippled for life. This one was saying, I had given birth to Nigeria's Oscar Pistorius. So it was like hope, even though I didn't want that kind of hope or that kind of situation. It could have still been an award-winning anything he wants to be without having to go through this amputation and all. But then again, because it was something that we were new to, it was something that we've never heard, we've never seen, never come in contact or anything. I remember even my husband, my mother-in-law even saying to my husband that, that this thing is not in our family, it's not in our DNA. Maybe it's from your wife, or you have to, I don't know, and it caused a lot of issues because my husband was like, what are you saying? You can't lay such claim on my wife and all. But that's even by the way. But these things are actually in existence in families. It's in homes. Because I remember even during the time where we were going through the POP session in orthopedic hospital, we met a lot of mothers who came with their children for different kind of disabilities. Some children had clubfoot, and you will see that as minor as clubfoot is, you still find husbands who were saying that the fault was from their wife, who were saying that it was something from their. It's always the women that has the fault. It's always the mothers that the fault is coming from. It is very difficult to find a family who is not pointing to the wife to say it's from your father's house, it's from your lineage, go back and check your generation, maybe it's something in the olden days, this, that. And and as minor as clubfoot is, that can be easily corrected. You cannot compare clubfoot with having to go through amputation. And you find mothers who come to the hospital crying and saying, their husband didn't give them transport money to come to the clinic because they said it was their fault. They are not even talking to the child. In fact, I know of a mother whose husband sent her away with the child and said it was an abomination. It was like a lot of things. I'm like, what? So at that point, I thanked God for my own husband because I was not experiencing that. I was really grateful, So it took us, just to cut all of this short because of time, it took us 4 years. So it's not like we just knew in the 4th year that Michael was going to be amputated. We had known from the one that we went to the orthopedic, but it took us 4 years to arrive to accept that it should be amputated. So in that 4 years, I was praying, believing for a miracle. I have done all the kind of fasting that I can fast, dry fasting, wet fasting, white fasting, purple fasting, all the camp meetings, you can find all the prayer houses. In fact, I've become a very big prayer warrior now, and it's Michael.
Like, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for sharing with us, Ma. Thank you very much. I would like to still ask that at the time when I listened to you, you mentioned, and we know that a key catalyst for raising the next generation is education. And I know that I could remember that you mentioned when my first encounter with you that there was issues around having access to quality education, and probably, you know, from schools, and probably the structure of the school and all of that. How were you able to overcome that sort of challenge? And what were give examples of, you know, things that you experienced in regarding to inclusive education for Michael?
It was a lot. We had a lot of fights. So the school, I mean, they were giving us a lot of conditions. They were asking me to sign undertaking that if Michael falls down, the school will not be held responsible. I, the mother who is not in school with him, will be held responsible for him falling down. I'm like, why is he even going to fall down in the first place? And you know, so there were a lot of discrimination. They were not paying attention to him. There was inequality. You find his classmates abusing him, telling him that, oh, his 2 legs are cut off, that he can never be able to do a lot of things. Will you ever get married? You know, and all of that. So, and it was so much. We were always fighting. I was always going to the school to fight, to quarrel. There was always complaint. A lot of abuse. Michael was greatly abused. Like, Michael was abused. Michael was discriminated. Michael, like, he was a lot of bullying. He was bullying the school. He was bullied. The school was not conducive for him to learn at all. He was not excited to go to school. He was not excited for one day to go to school. We had issues with the school back and forth. I mean, we had asked at a point that his class, which was upstairs, even though we had no problem with that, because I also live, I mean, in a 2-story building, and Michael climbed on the stairs. But you know, we had asked that, okay, can the class be brought down? And all the school said no. Like, and then there wasn't any slab where that would have made it easy for him to even be able to come into school, get into class. And even when he's now finally able to, you find that the teacher is asking him to go sit at the back. They are asking him. So it was a lot. It's so much. I don't even want to remember that story because it makes me cry every time. What that child has to go through. Michael had to go through a lot of that, and it was so much.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that with us, because I've heard this before, and I know that it would have taken a whole lot of toll on your mental health, even besides the mental health of your child at the time. And this month is the Mental Health Awareness Month. So I would like us to focus on parents right now and caregivers as well. The ones experiencing the first-hand challenges in relations to caring for children with disabilities. So have you experienced a caregiver burnout at any moment where you just felt isolated? Probably your spouse wasn't responsive at a time to you, or family members were not helping out, neighbors were not helping out. Was there any time you felt that burnout and that you were all alone in this, and you just felt like, you know, a lot of thoughts coming through your head and all of that?
Yeah, I've experienced burnout a lot of times, and it was a very lonely journey. First of all, because I didn't have people around me who had gone through what I was going, so they were not able to relate. So I felt alone. So even if I complained or say, okay, this is how I feel, they don't know how to respond to me or what response to give to me, you know. And I'll continue to say that it was so for that first 4 years before we made that decision, it was very tough. There were days I would be walking on the street and I would be crying, broad daylight afternoon.
Wow.
I would be crying. I would put Michael on my back, going to pick his 2 other brothers from school, and you will see me crying on the road. I had people who were asking me, are you okay? What's going on? It was at a point people thought I was going mental, because I was looking very tattered. I was looking very unkempt. I didn't know I didn't know what to do. I was scared. I was afraid for even my own life. In fact, it got to a point where I felt like maybe I should just kill this boy. There was a particular afternoon. I just felt like maybe I should just take pillow and strangle this boy and let this boy just die, because it was a lot on me. I was going through so much. I was going through a lot. There was no friend I could talk to. There was no relative, no relation, no neighbor. In fact, at a point, those who saw Michael, they felt it was my fault. I had people saying, oh, it was your fault. What drugs did you take? What did you
during
eat?
Pregnancy?
Yes, some people felt, oh, maybe I had slept with someone who was not my husband and I had gotten pregnant, and this was the reward for that. Some people felt there was something wrong with me, my generation. So if it made me, I was just alone. I was alone on that journey. No one to talk to, nobody to share how I was feeling. And if I was going to talk, I will cry. Like, I will so cry. I was going crazy. I would go on the streets not wearing inner wears. I would just back Michael. It's so much. It's a lot. And it was up until I met Crystal that things began to change.
So thank you very much for that contribution. It's a bit sympathetic, although, and now that you've walked in through that mud, because that was a muddy era, a muddy phase in your journey of parenting, I would like you to give us like tips that helped you, in these times, especially when it comes to self-care, because a lot of times the caregivers and parents in Nigeria most especially serve as caregivers as well, because not every parent can afford that luxury of getting somebody to help with their children. So what habits did you create that helped you navigate these times, that that okay, yes, my mental health is also very important? In as much as I have a child with disability, I also need to take care of myself so that I do not also fall sick or have mental stress as well. So please, would you like to just share that with us briefly?
Okay, yes. So I continue to say to parents with children with disability, and not just even amputees, like you said in your introduction, it could be albinism, it could be Down syndrome, it could be autism, it could be cerebral palsy. You cannot give what you don't have. You need to prioritize yourself. You need to take care of yourself first. And what helped me was, by God, a friend of mine from nowhere who said to see me at that time, she's like, you are going crazy. You are going, how my life was put on hold. I couldn't do anything. How am I supposed to do something? Because at that time, even the daycare, they will not accept him. The crèche will not even accept him, because they were like, Ewo, I think it's called Ewo or Ewo, like abomination. Like, this child is an abomination, kiniko. And maybe they also felt like if he had come in contact with other children, he was going to infect them with that disability. So it was just me. But I had a friend, Jacinta, and God really blessed her, who looked at me one day and said, no, you have to come out of this. This cannot be you. You cannot remain this way. There is something wrong. We need to fix this. And she started to look for resources that was going to help me come out. She would send them to me and say, read. She would send them to me and say, read this story. Look at this person. She went as far as getting me a job. She said, I'm going to get you a job so that you have to. I said, okay, where will I keep Michael? She said, don't worry. I don't mind paying somebody who you can drop Michael with in her house. And then in the evening, you pick Michael up. And then she paid a certain old woman who took Michael from me. And then I started working. So from work, I would go pick Michael. And I started to regain myself. So So you see the place of where we must surround ourselves with quality people. We must surround ourselves with resources. We must surround ourselves with people who can help us, even in that moment when you are down, who can help you to think. That sometimes you just need somebody else's wisdom, somebody else's mind to think. So the sister was there for me at that point. She was sharing resources with me. She was sharing videos of, there's this guy who doesn't have 2 hands and 2 legs, forgotten his Nick. Okay, she was constantly sharing Nick's videos with me. So I watched a lot of Nick's video. I watched a lot of Nick's story. And then I started to gain hope that this child can still be anything that God wants him to be. So I started to listen to a lot of motivational speeches and motivational talks. And gradually, my hope started to be restored. I started to come back. I started to hope again. I started to believe again. I started to now start to make declarations and affirmations. So these were the ways that I was able to now gradually move from this point where I was already going to a point where my hope started to come alive again.
Thank you so much. That was very inspiring. And from what our guest speaker has said, she said we should surround ourselves with quality people. And I think that is very important. It is not about, just gathering a bunch of people that will not be useful in the time of need. It's about having those few, even if it's 1-2 persons that will stand up and take responsibility at those times. Yes, so we should endeavor to surround ourselves with good people. So I would like to ask one more question, and please, our audiences, you can start dropping your comments, your questions in the chat box, because our time is fast spent and we would like to try as much as possible to address these questions. If you have any questions for Mrs. Ozioma, please kindly drop it in the chat box. So I would like to also ask that what can communities do to better support parents emotionally, financially, and socially? Because I know that it can take a toll on one's mental health when you go out with your child, probably to a birthday party, and there's a way they are segregated. Oh no, you can't participate in this. Oh no, you can't do this. You can't do that. Some people will even draw their children away from your child and say, don't play with him, don't touch him, don't do this, don't do that. And now I know that he has a prosthetic limb, and a lot of children will be wondering, it is humanly to have that stare and say, okay, I want to know what this is. So what do you think that communities can do in relations to that? Should we just keep, pitting children with disabilities and feel that they are limited because of their disability?
Thank you. I remember one time when I was coming from the orthopedic hospital and we were inside bus. So I carried Michael, and so the next woman who was going to come into the bus to sit beside me, I think she caught a glimpse of Michael's legs and she was like, hey, hello, Margie. And she ran out of the bus. She didn't enter that bus. Like, if you look at me, you will not, you find me, you will not see me. I'm like, what's going on? What's this? I think what communities can do, what we can do is inclusion. We have to start to include, and it starts from me as Michael's mom. It starts from you as Michael's auntie, as someone who comes in contact with Michael. How does it start from me? It starts from what I'm able to project, to say, oh, my son can do this, my child can do this. If you are the one who is always pitying that child, the society will respond based on your response to your own child. It is natural. But if they are able to say, okay, I will point an example. One time, Michael was coming down from the school bus, and in trying to get down, he sort of missed his step and he was almost falling. And I was outside. I was just like this. So the salon just in front of my house. So there were people outside that were making that, and they all got up like, yeah. I did not move. I was just like this. So the owner of the salon has watched me a couple of times, how I treat Michael, how I relate with Michael, and all of that. So I think she already knows. So she also was not moved. So in fact, she was one telling them that, Phile, oh my, okay, feel it. I didn't move. Because she has seen my response. So if I'm the one who is always running helter-skelter at every time, I'm being caught unawares, is this going to happen? She was also going to respond to that way as well. And then it will now become a pity party. And then you now find that all of us are now gathering Michael, trying to hold him. And at that point, him himself will now start to feel like I will need a lot of help in this life. So it is the response that we give to our own children. I continue to say that I don't like when I go out, I see children with disability. They are wearing torn school uniform. Their hair is unkept. Their shoes are not well polished. You are sending a message to the teachers in school, to those who interact with them on the road, that you do not value this child. So first of all, you have to value your own child. It is what you pass on to the society, onto people around you, that they are going to respond with. In Michael's school, I'm not a troublesome parent, but excuse me, you cannot talk to Michael anyhow. I will come to that school and tell you that you can't talk to my child anyhow. So I already passed that. They already know that this one is touch not. And I'm not saying go to school and I'm not saying go to school and look for trouble, because know that your mother will come and defend you. But I'm saying stand your ground and know that I am whole. There is nothing wrong with me. In fact, I have a better opportunity. The way Michael is loved, the way Michael is carried. My first son once told me one day that, Mommy, in fact, I feel like being an amputee. Because how does Michael get all of this love, all of this treatment? How is he so courageous? It is because I, the mother, I have painted a picture before the society. When we are going to the mall, I'm not holding him. Oga, walk. What do you want? Show me, pick it up. So if you're even staring at him too much and then the boy is uncomfortable, I'm looking at you to say, excuse me, ma, you've not seen a child with an artificial leg before. I don't understand why you are looking. So you are let's build an inclusive society. It is inclusion. When they are at a birthday party, show them up. I personally allow Michael wear short nails. So they're not coming to ask me what happened to his leg. You already seen his leg. Don't ask me. So it has helped that child build his confidence. So let's start. It starts with the parents and the caregivers. Stop hiding your children. Bring them out. There is nothing wrong with those children. Bring them out. Let them look neat. Let them be very presentable. Teach them courage.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ma. So she has talked about, inclusion. What you don't have, you cannot give. You yourself should not pity your children, and then you allow others to also pity them. I think we have a question from our audience, from Dolapo. She said, how do you keep Michael motivated and remind him that he can achieve whatever he sets out to do?
Affirmations. Affirmations. I constantly affirm him. In fact, I think it was last week, he came back and said somebody said this thing. And I told him in the morning, before he left, I told him, I said, see in that Laurel school, from beginning to end, there is nobody that is better than you. See that Laurel school. You are the one that, Shebi the other day you went to go and see Sonwolu. How many people in your school have seen Sonwolu before? Shebi, you are the one that, and how many people in your, I would say, see, you are the one that has gone into places. The other day you went for a walk. The other day you are on TV. Have your classmates ever been on TV before? Affirmations. I will affirm him. I will say, see, go to school. Don't go look for trouble, but go to school with your heads held high. You are the one that is more at an advantage than every other person. That when you get to the bank, they will open that trap man door before any other person. You will enter before any other person. So that you are the one who is more favored. I continue to affirm. Are there days, and let's be very honest, because sometimes we are not honest with ourselves. Are there days when Michael is not, they enter, no matter the affirmations, the guy is still doubting that there is something wrong with me. Oh, there are days like that. And what do? That is why every parent, even if you don't have a child with disability, you must have a roadmap. You must have something that you're holding on to. There is an anchor for raising each and every of your child. So on those days when he's not feeling motivated, when he's feeling like out of all the whole 723 children in Lorraine, only me is the one that is wearing a special leg to school. My own, what did I do to deserve this? There are days when he's like that. I've said this several times, that there are times Michael does not drop offering in church. He dey beef God. Michael gets beef with God, He go tell you, say, I'm not giving to God because I need him to. He has all the ones I'm giving him to God. He has not healed me. So you see, at that point, you see that Michael, they fight God. What do you do as a mother? You sit him down and tell him, no, this is this, and this. That you are even standing here today is because God loves you. That you are able to have access to IREDE Foundation. You are able to have access to Anti-Crystal. You are able to go for Out on a Limb. You are able to go for this work. It is because, okay, why did Anti-Crystal not invite Chemere? Chemere is there. Why did that? So there are a lot of affirmations. On those days when he's crying, you sit with him. Are there days I still cry? Yes. Are there days I still ask myself questions like, this boy, by the time he's 18, 19, what is life going to be like? How am I going to send him to university? How is he going to cope? Are there days when I have those questions? Yes, there are those days. But what do? I take it one day at a time. I'm learning every day to put my faith and trust in God. I'm affirming. In fact, I tell him that, see, you better pass so that you can come and believe in this. This Nigeria does not fit you. I'm affirming that policies will work in his favor. I'm affirming that things will change, that everything will work in alignment to his own, that he will have a comfortable and an enjoyable life. That's my affirmations every day. The days I cry, the days I have questions with God, I will sit with God and say, see, I want to see the end of this matter. This boy Abi that you gave me, I'm here, I want to see the end, and I know that the end is going to be perfect. There are days I still cry. There are days I'm still all in my emotions. This matter I'm talking now, there's in case we go talk and reach, I will start to cry because it's painful. It's painful to see that you have to parent this child. And for how long are you going to parent this child? For how long are you going to explain and explain? So you have to now be a counselor. That's why I said, take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. If you need to rest. That child is going to survive with or without you.
Yeah.
So read the books, all the self-help books you can read. Read it.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ma. So lastly, we've been talking about challenges, how it has affected mental health, inclusion in school and all of that. I would like to know that in this journey, have there been positive outcomes, even from society? People that just turned out and say, no, I'm going to show up for you, or schools that have encouraged Michael to come and learn in a very conducive and friendly environment, and policies probably that has also helped Michael, things he has benefited from, even though he's a child with disability. Can you share that with us briefly, ma'am?
Okay, yes, there's been a lot of positive outcomes. And I want to say that for you to get positive outcome, you have to be a very positive person. Because you are going to attract your kind at the end of the day. You're going to attract your kind of, so the spirit that you give out is the spirit that you're going to attract. So as much as you can, while expecting a positive, you cannot be declaring one thing and then your actions or your expectations are a different thing. It does not work that way. So there have been positive outcomes. I remember Michael's former school where we had all of the issues and all. When we were going to leave that school, we did not even plan to leave the school. Funny, it's not like we officially planned to say, okay, we're not going to this school again. The way we left is, I would just say it was divinely orchestrated. Because the school has sent letters. I was going to sign. I was going to beg. I just wanted my son to go to school. So for me, I even felt, that maybe that school was the only school that was going to accept him. And when they had sent all this letter and I stepped out of the school, I remember sending the letter to Crystal to say, this is what we have received and I want to sign it. She's like, sign what? What is wrong with the child? Don't sign anything. I said, don't sign it. If you sign, I'm going to have problems with you. Don't sign. Sign what? In fact, don't bother. We're not going back to that school again. And we went looking for another school for Michael. And the school that Michael currently is in, Michael is king. It's an inclusive school. There's a slab where Michael can come in from, even though Michael knows the degree past that place. He wants to pass where that other person is passing. He's loved. There is a Mr. Ayo that has volunteered to teach him chess free of charge. So we bought him chess board. He goes to school every Wednesday. So when people have gone for other sports, Michael is learning chess. Mr. Ayo has volunteered to be his chess teacher. So these are positive outcomes. I have people, friends, who are saying, oh, what does Michael need? How can we support him? Who are saying, let's start to pull out funds. As soon as he's done with SS3, let us send him abroad for a better life. These are positive outcomes. We have Office for Disabilities, where we have people who are fighting for children with this. So it's no longer only you in this journey. And it's not just disability that has to do with child amputation. It's disability that has to do with any other kind of amputation, any other kind of disability. I have a friend whose child is autistic, and I said to her that on this journey that me and you, now we did this journey together. I am not more privileged than you are. If Ethan goes to school and anybody maltreats Ethan, let me know. I will carry it on my head, because I've seen friends who also carried Michael's matter on their head. So there are positive outcomes. There is a community that is willing, available, and ready to support, ready to help, ready to come out and come and stand. There are still schools that have sense in Nigeria. I know because Michael is in this school and is well treated. He's in this school and they are taking care of him. He's in this school and he's loved. He's in this school and he's included. So yes, there are positive outcomes. There's still a society that is willing to help, willing to stand by us, willing to push through, willing to say, yes, I might not fully understand what you're going through, how to parent this child, but we are with you on this journey. Any other help that you need. And it can be counseling. It can be somebody just talking you out of a bad situation. There are positive outcomes. It can be a phone number that you can just call and say, hello, Victory, hello, Anne. This is how I feel today. And they are saying, no, ma'am, you don't have to feel this way. This is how you can come out. So yes, there are positive outcomes.
Thank you very much, Ma. So this is where we'll be drawing the curtain on this month's edition of Open Mic for Disabilities. I'm sure that all of us have been inspired by the insights that Mrs. Alagba has shared. And thank you very much, Ma, for honoring our invitation. Thank you for being honest, and thank you for choosing to speak up about how to raise children with disability and how to raise the next generation. We want to thank you for everybody that has joined in and stayed till the end, for those that asked questions, that reacted to the conversation. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you. So to every parent, every caregiver, educator listening, we want to know that you are enough. Like Michael's mom has said, you are enough, you are seen, you are supported, you are surrounded by community that can help you thrive in this journey of parenting. And I would like Michael's mom to also give us like a last word for parents who are just starting this journey. Just a simple word for them to, a word of encouragement for them to know that they are not alone in this journey.
In fact, you already said it, they are not alone in this journey. So yes, they are not alone. They are not alone in this journey at all. We are here. Like we are all here to walk this journey with you, to just hold your hands and say, okay, this is how you can come through. This is how you can break in, break out, and break forth of this season of your life.
Thank you very much, Ma. So let us not forget to continue to push for inclusive system, compassionate society, and also accessible mental health support for all families. Even those of us that do not have children living with disabilities, we should be able to support families who are going through this challenge as well. So you can, to get more empowering conversations like this, you can follow us on all social media platforms at the IREDE Foundation, so that together we can keep empowering children living with disabilities, we can keep educating people, and we can keep advocating for persons with disability. Thank you very much for tuning in, and it's a bye from here. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a lovely day. Enjoy the rest of your day. So please, you can just still drop your name in the chat box. We have 1 minute left to end this session. Just drop your name and your LinkedIn connect probably in the chat box, so that anyone that wants to connect with you can do that freely. Thank you very much.